Weather Channel, this is Storm Stories with meteorologist Jim Cantore.
Canadian sailing buffs Robin and Maggie Ansel are living out a fantasy. They're happy. Luckily, paramedic only has 2 minutes to get. The other one will be left behind.
Chivalry doesn't fly any party.
Has 2 minutes. McDonald's. One of the straps on the dinghy. Paramedic
Party.
looking directly to me to put my head with what he put. You are as persistent or powerful as Cyclone Justin. The storm that persevered for 3 straight weeks is recorded as one of the longest. Next on Storm Stories, a man clings to a pole as a flash flood threatens to rip him to his death. Torrential rains have been pounding the Rocky Mountain town of Fort Collins, Colorado since yesterday. In the past 1 hour. More than believe they are. Rick and helps to rope the raft and tow it back. The Zodiac spotter sounds a tornado warning, but can't get it. Hey, stay with us as Storm Stories continue. It's the beginning of spring in the American Midwest. Coming closer, you can hear the roar of the in a moment. Within seconds, the tornado is over Kelly Miller's house.
Things were shaking in the room, and all the windows flew out.
The house moves.
So, the first.
No one is killed. Sounded the.
No one had killed you.
Overemphasize too much.
No one had killed us all.
Of smaller communities, it's harder to get the bigger army.
Storm Stories.
After months of rehabilitation, Lonnie can now get around with the help of a walker. From his desk at home, he still helps the Spotter Network with tracking storms. For Storm Stories, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantore. Your local forecast is next. A mile-wide F5 tornado rips through Oklahoma. How many people live to tell this tale? You're going to find out next on Storm Stories. Bay, Florida.
September 16,
1928.
And it's been called the Forgotten Hurricane. It has been forgotten, and it was a really deliberate effort to forget about it.
You could feel the size of the boat going this way and the
Go that way.
we all began to lean forward like that, you know.
The blacks were put in one section, and the whites were put in another section.
They brought them in and buried them in a long trench. That's all you could do.
Storm Stories. From the Weather Channel. This is Storm Stories with meteorologist Jerry Taft. Jerry Taft.
Late summer 1928. It's planting season in South Bay, Florida. a mostly white farming community 40 miles west of Palm Beach. The sleepy town of 400 lies on the southern shore of Lake Okeechobee, force upon South Florida. Sebring Farms' segregated communities now have something terrible in common. They're about to be fighting for their lives in one of the worst hurricanes this country has ever seen. That's next, when Storm Stories returns. September 16th, 1928, South Florida is being hammered by a Category 4 hurricane. Winds race at 150 miles an hour, creating an 8 ripping it up. Then being used against
3 pieces. And popping up a surface, transparent.
Goodness
Said he
in the
side,
rain.
and it's always
September 17th, 1928. It's dawn in south central Florida, near the southern shore of Lake Okeechobee. Part of the intake Tillman and the rest of the
We're housing over there.
inventory. It isn't until the bodies start arriving from
uplands.
workers.
They don't convict.
If you add up all the graves from the hurricane of 28, the number is far greater than the official death toll. We'll tell you what
Well,
that
the
number
number
is when Storm Stories returns. The official death toll for the hurricane of 1928 is 1,830. But if you add up all the graves, that number is closer to 2,500. And some historians think
even that estimate is low.
Not only were many migrant workers unaccounted for, communication was nearly obliterated. And the struggling Florida government ran out of money and had to call off the search in a matter of weeks. For Storm Stories, I'm meteorologist
Joey
Jim
Taft.
Your local forecast
Joey
is
Taft.
next.
Don't believe it. 1928.